Sports Pueblo, 1350. This is the John Wristen Show, brought to you by Miller Lite. Let's join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves head coach, John Wristen.
Welcome. There we go, Joe. You know, it helps if you got all the dials up there. Okay, that's the problem. I know why Caitlin was panicking now. That's what the problem was. The master wasn't up there, but we're ready to go now. Welcome to the John Wristen Show. We are here at Andy Mack's. Jim Brooks along with the Chieftains, Joe Cervi. John Wristen will be showing up shortly. I thought maybe they were applauding him in already, but
no, they're just happy we're here, and we're happy that the Thunderwolves are coming off a victory this week. Jim, it's a lot more fun to come to the show after a W. Now here comes the head coach, John Wristen.
There we go. Clap him on in, everybody. Even Tundra's here again.
They love John Wristen.
It's homecoming week. So we're excited about that. They do love John Wristen.
It's homecoming, and they come to the school, but they come to pay homage.
You know, it's you and I show up, and it's just kind of business as usual.
Well,
they go about ordering drinks.
We sit here and eat until the radio.
John walks in. It must be his show.
It is his show.
It's his name's on it. That's the reason. John, welcome.
He got tired of us filling for about 2 weeks now, so he's
exactly.
I'm gonna show up and take over.
Well, glad to be here. I wasn't able to hear you guys on the way in to find out what you guys are going to talk about tonight. Set me up that way. So it's nice to be here. We got a great crowd. Andy Max does a great job of sponsoring this. Really appreciate it. And I'm anxious to talk a little Pac football.
Well, that's good. It was a great victory over Adams State, a game which you fell behind early, John. It was 6-0. They missed that extra point, and they kind of moved it down the field kind of smartly on your defense. Had a good game plan, it seemed like. Made a stop on you, actually, and then things turned around. When you guys got going, then things started to work out.
Yeah, I was really, concerned about a hangover game per se, if there was one after Mesa. And, early on last week, a week ago on Wednesday, I just decided we worked too damn hard to not have any fun. And we incorporated a 5-minute period there where we were going to have some home run derby and have a little fun. And our kids, I think, responded. I really was trying to make sure they understood how things are out of your control and we got to move forward. And I was really happy with that. And the opening drive, you were kind of wondering, what the heck is going on here? And then we only have 4 downs, and we make a first down, or we go 3 and out, and you go, oh no, how's this going to end up? And we started clicking. Coach Hughes and defense started dialing in. We started tackling better. We started to understand they were going to nickel and dime us, and one of their 81 made a nice touchdown catch over our guy, and our guys think could have been offensive pass interference, probably could have.
Little nudge.
Yeah, but the reality of it, we found a way to play 60 minutes, and it was nice for us to come out with a nice W. Have a plan, be able to execute it, and I think our passing game was really on target. I believe Rex was 12 of 16 or 12 of 18 in that area for over 200 yards, and he ended up being our player of the game, even though Bernard and some other guys had some nice games. But I thought the way Rex managed the game and did some nice things and get some great protection. And then our defense did a nice job, and LaRon was our player of the week on the defense side with those 2 picks. And I knew LaRon, he dropped that pick versus Mesa, and it wasn't going to let him happen again. And so he did a nice job, made a nice break on that one that really, in the second half, that gave us a little more life and breathing room to try to end the game with enough points to win.
It seemed like the defense kind of adjusted early on. They took it down the field on that first drive, but then once you kind of got used to what they wanted to do, kind of get used to their scheme, really put the clamps on.
Well, I think the key was that they weren't able to run the ball, so we made them one-dimensional and throwing the ball, and they were going to have to nickel and dime it with our pass rush, and they were going to get it out quick. And our guys did a better job of tackling than they did in the first series per se. And we had Brandon Henry come back, number 4. He had a hamstring injury. And he got a lot of playing time. And, they were trying to take advantage with Darius not being in there in the first half. And Darius came in and
he had a lot of energy.
He had a lot of energy. And so it was nice for him to be able to experience success that way. We had a sack. That was the only sack of the game. And Coach Hughes dialed up
it was a corner blitz from him. He had to be 15 yards off the ball and got a running start through. Parting of the Green Sea.
It was nice. The defensive line did what they need to open the hole per se on defense, the gap that they were supposed to, and running it through. And I hear it on the headset, and I go, no, the 81s they're going to pick it up, but they're rolling the other way, so it helped us.
You mentioned Rex Dowson, and I think I mentioned it on the air. We didn't look at him Saturday as what he's going to do or how he's going to play. We just watched him play, and it looked like he belonged from get-go to. There was no question if it was his team or if he's going to make this, or it just looked like he belonged there for the first time this whole. And he was spot on.
Yeah, I think I know he's gaining more confidence, and I think he had a lot of confidence carried over from the Mesa game, and I think every game he's developing a little moxie to him and a little the ability to lead our team, and our guys are looking for him, and so I'm really proud of the way he's handled this whole situation.
When you look back on it, it might be the thing that was missing early on in camp with his game. Everybody just having the confidence, and now he's kind of taking control of it. Maybe he just needed that fire lit under him.
Well, I think, when you don't win the starting job, you really feel down, and you can handle it a couple different ways. And I was really proud the way he handled it, and I think that's really helped his growth. And AJ's done a nice job of being a supportive role, and I know he wished he was playing a whole bit like a normal competitor would, and I think those are the things that we try to establish, is that, what do you want to be if you're the guy behind you? What do you want that guy to be? And so you got to manage that whole thing to make sure that everybody has that mentality, because we're not in intramurals. We're into a production, and you got to produce at your position. And when you got depth and those things take place, some guys might not like it, and so how they respond to it, I think, is what you have to identify, and that's what's best for the team. And you got to be upfront with them as a coach. You got to tell them exactly where they stand, and that's how we look at it.
Well, speaking of depth, the ball club, you got to play a lot of people in that ball game. We're seeing more and more a lot of these redshirt freshmen, some of the sophomores, really starting to turn it on. They're getting used to, as you say, the speed of the game.
Right. I think, Deion Sizer's done a nice job coming back and being healthy. And, Jamal Sears is a true freshman that we pulled his red shirt 2 weeks ago. And he's done a nice job at the corner spot. And you're going to see some guys that have the ability to come in and help us play and make sure that we're still maintaining that momentum.
A guy who was active Saturday at Adams State was Brock Davies, and Jim and I talked to Brock before the game, and he told us his version of the inner circle. He said that you told the team kind of what he was talking, but he used a little more colorful Aussie language. And when Jim and I were walking off the field, we go, he's gonna go crazy today, and he did early. He was a little bit out of control, but it's so much fun to watch, and it's really fun to listen to. But he's still pretty young, green in terms of American football.
Yeah, he hasn't played a lot of snaps, and so he's slowly and surely getting better, and he had one of his better games.
Well, I got suspended one game, and just in the accent, and then the colorful language is just, it's beautiful.
That's Brock. He has a beautiful, very sharp tongue,
yes.
And he's very intelligent. And
he's older, isn't he?
He's really old. I mean, he's like 26.
Yeah,
I believe he's 26 on this, and his dream is to play American football and have a chance to play in the NFL, and I hope he has that chance.
All right, we're going to take a quick time out here. I'm getting some messages that we might be having a little bit of a technical issue, so we're going to try to straighten that out. This is the John Wristen Show. We are at Andy Max. Come on down and join us. Got drink specials and we got some good hors d'oeuvres here. What do we got here tonight?
We got boneless wings in a variety of sauces and, of course, the meatballs.
Signature meatballs. All right, come on down and join us. If you got a question for the coach, we've got a few of them here. 671-7574, 719-671-7574. We're back in a little moment here. This is the John Wristen Show from Andy Max on Fox Sports Pueblo.
The John Wristen Show on Fox Sports Pueblo, 1350.
And welcome back to Andy Max, John Wristen Show. Here on Fox Sports Pueblo. Joe Cervi. He's right across me with his Angels hat.
I had to represent the American League. I mean, I'm glad the Rangers are out.
Yeah, your team's
done.
Blue Jays. Red Sox are done. Yeah.
Bartender Laura, she's from Toronto.
It's our new team.
Yeah,
we're Blue Jays fans.
We're Blue Jays fans.
Cubs, quite a win last night.
Crazy.
Joe, who are you following now? Who's your baseball team? Who do you got?
Oh, I'm going Cubs.
Cubs all the way. Okay, well, you got some Chicago guys.
Cubs.
Yeah, you were over there on the north side of Chicago there when you were back there at Northwestern.
That's my first Major League Baseball game I ever saw was at Wrigley Field up in Murphy's bleachers. We actually wasn't in this, but when I was able to live in Chicago, caught the L 3 or 4 times and enjoyed Wrigleyville. And
was that when you were on staff at Northwestern?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I caught 3 games at Wrigley Field. 2 of the games were midday games before it was really a big deal. There was only about 8,000 people in the park.
Perfect.
Walked right up, bought a seat, and I was right behind the first base dugout, about 8 rows deep for 2 games. And on the Saturday game, they finally drew a little bit because it was a Saturday. We were out in the right field bleachers, but it was all right. Enjoyed it. But let's speak about your ball club. You know, Adams State, fine, got them out of the way, right? Let's talk about this week. We're coming up with Fort Lewis here. This team has kind of been a little bit of an enigma, and they can't get over the hump winning ball games. But they're very competitive, John. I mean, they've given some people some hard times.
This is they're 1-5, but they really could be really 5-1.
Right.
And
well, here's a stat for you. Their 5 losses are combined 33 points.
Right.
So that means they're in it. So your team better be ready. Not look at that record.
And they had Mesa beat, and. You know, last week they had 6 turnovers, and they're going to beat Western State. And, you know, they made a heck of a run at Mines, and Mines had to come back and try to figure out how to win that one. So, you know, this team is well coached. Ed Ripolato down there does an excellent job, and their defense is sound, and they put people in the right spot. We've always had trouble running the ball against them. And so, you know, we're going to have to figure out how to get a victory on homecoming.
Well, and it's really a spot for your ball club, too, John. You're sitting there. It's a chance to get over 500 for the year. We never thought we'd be talking about this for the Thunderwolves, but for your chance for a team to be a winning team, you got to get over 500, I guess, is your chance this week.
Well, we approach it trying to go 1-0 this week in this process. And I challenge our guys about making sure you had the details of your job, and plus the discipline. And then if you do those things, you have a chance to dominate your position going through this process. And so I really want our guys to understand the details of what they have to do. You know, what do you expect when you see this guy lining up? What are they doing in this formation? You have to understand you got to play detailed football to be able to beat Fort Lewis. And then you got to have the discipline to do your job. And if you have those details and the discipline to execute your job, you have a chance to go win the ball game.
Well, no, their club, when you get a familiar face like their head coach, he kind of knows the conference, he kind of knows the teams they're playing, so that kind of helps, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's done a nice job with that group. I have a lot of respect, you know, with the way he handles himself and his program. They're first class all the way, and they're going to run the football, and that's what I believe in. And they have done some nice things.
Well, your ball club coming into this ball game, what do you look for early on in a game like this when you're taking on Fort Elizabeth homecoming? A lot of things going on around the fringes this weekend. Try to keep the team focused.
Well, I think, we started with saying, 1-0 in this process that you got to go to be able to still reach your goals at the very end. And if you don't do those things, you're going to get your butt beat. And so we're really looking forward to this opportunity to go play at home. This is our first Saturday afternoon game. Should have a great crowd, homecoming. And it's one of those things that you got to stay focused on your task at hand. And that's, again, what we talked about is the details and have the discipline to be able to do that.
Well, not only is it a day game in homecoming, it's your only appearance in Pueblo in October.
Well, it is what it is.
I mean,
right?
but for Thunderbolt fans, if you want to see this team in October, you have to either go on the road with Jim and I or come Saturday to the homecoming game.
Well, that's the way the schedule makers made it, and so we're lucky to have a chance to play Fort Lewis this week as we look at it at home.
Well, looking at this conference, John, you got to be kind of astonished. I kind of looked at it today. I go, South Dakota Mines is only one loss. That was the loss you guys hung on them. Black Hill State, they come up with a big win at Mesa. I mean, they really handled them at their place. Suddenly they're on top of the league. You got South Dakota Mines, Mesa, and Black Hill State leading the conference now. I mean, that's kind of, I don't want to say it's upside down, but that's kind of something you wouldn't expect at this point, but good for them for being up there.
Yeah,
the South Dakota schools.
I think that's, a tribute to our league and how those teams are playing. And, we'll see at the end of the year if that happens that way. But they made the most of their opportunities. And the key to this is how you handle your games in October lead up to those games in November. And October schedules will also define where you are and who you're playing and what's that going to look like in the overall picture. That's the same thing in September. We stubbed our toe in September. And so those things are the things that we got to get better at, and now we get an opportunity to play at home, and we still have an opportunity to go through what we need to.
You just need one team in the next 5 weeks to beat Mesa. Just one team. It doesn't matter which team. Just one team.
Well, it doesn't. I can't control that. All I'm worried about is us playing.
But we talk about that. It's just
it does us no good to worry about who's going to be Mesa. We have a kind of a non-public regional rankings on Monday. And then
kind of a practice run.
Yeah, you just kind of get an idea, and then the next week, the following week, in 2 weeks, the regional rankings will come out.
Okay,
and you're on that committee.
Yes, I was lucky enough to. Now I'm on the national committee, and there's 8 of us, and so I'll be involved in the national. We've had some discussions about the direction. It's kind of neat. It's kind of interesting, all the decision making and the why about it, and sometimes you don't quite understand it. So I'm looking forward to helping our league and helping teams out west have a great representation.
Well, speaking of out west, Azusa Pacific went into Golden Saturday, and Mines handled them. That was a big win. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a close game, and it turned out to be. And Mines made some plays, and I think Mines is getting a little healthier than they have been. And, I think they got kind of dinged up in our game. Right. And same thing with Mesa. They got dinged up in our game, but they're softening them up for everybody. We used to call that in the program the Raider effect. Remember when the Raiders were big and nasty in the 80s, and when they had a study, whenever you played the Raiders, the next week you always lost, it seemed like, or percentages were, because they beat up you. I guess that might be the Thunderwolf effect. Well, I don't know, but if you look at the stats, some of those guys didn't play that played against us, and hopefully everybody's healthy, and we want everybody to be healthy, and want everybody to have a chance to play full speed and have a full team to be able to play and go do what they need to. So, getting back to the league a little bit, with the
the way it is with the 11-team league, you play 10 league games. So some of this is going to happen a lot sooner than you realize. And I think that's taken effect because you're playing league games week 1, like everybody's doing. And so you got to be on top of your game week 1 as you go through the season. And I think some teams and some programs are adjusting to that.
I think ideally the RMAC, the way you'd probably like to see is somebody get another team in there where you have 12, so you can have 6 and 6.
Right.
Play maybe an 8 game league schedule. Wouldn't that be so? You have those 2 games, you could get ready.
Well, I think it would help with your travel and having everything, and so. But we're in a great location,
right.
So I'd look forward to playing West Texas every year if that was our non-conference, and it's just kind of convenient for us to have that open weekend to be able to play West Texas.
Okay, we got another one here, not really with football game, but stuff's going around. We talk about his homecoming. Is this a pink out game as well?
Yes, we're having our pink out game, and it's not been advertised because of homecoming, the Hall of Fame, but for us, our guys are going to dedicate a game, this game, their performance to someone that maybe been stricken with breast cancer, and so we're having them write a letter and say, I'm playing in this game, I dedicate my performance, and I hope you get some enjoyment out of it, and tell them how much they mean to you. And we're since this is our only game at home in October, we're going to take advantage of it, and our guys have always enjoyed playing for somebody else. They've enjoyed having the pink spats and the tape, and that's the only time I've really kind of let them do something like that, and so those guys all enjoy that.
Well, it really gives your ball club another chance to connect with the community.
Yeah, I think
like
it
is.
In
a different way.
Yeah, I know. A couple years ago, Bubba Roger Feinerschmidt did a great job of dedicating his performance to somebody, and I think Joe wrote about it in an article, and we just are fortunate to do that. My wife's gone through breast cancer, and my mother has, and my sister has, and so it's touched our lives, and so I'm always trying to coach or dedicate this game to my wife.
Well, we dedicated, or we gave a shout out Saturday to Nathan Taylor's sister's battling breast cancer and stage 3, and she was listening. I saw Nathan today at practice, and he said, "Wait till you see my cleats for Saturday." He's got some black ones with the pink, the Nike swoosh, and oh yeah, no, he's very excited to break them out. He goes, they're going to be for her for this week, but they're going to be mine for the rest of it. He's very excited.
Let's talk about Nathan Taylor's game. It seems like the extra point kicks have a better trajectory. Whatever that adjustment he made after that game where he had a couple blocks, seems like he's been spot on, as we like to say.
Well, since the Highlands game, Kyle Mausbrecher has really done a nice job of drilling him and giving him the fundamentals, and we made a little adjustment on his technique that he was leaning so far forward he couldn't get the lift on the ball, and so
driving it.
You gotta sit your hips back, and it's all predicated on your plant foot, and so we film him every day, and we got some. Kyle went over the fundamentals of doing that, and there's different drills, and so he's been on point the last 2 games, and hopefully he can keep it up. He's done a nice job of kicking all week in practice. I mean, the ball's going in rotation. Speaking of kickers, I got a call from Greg O'Donnell last night, and he wanted to let me know he's coming in. He's working at Disney World in Orlando, and
he did an internship down there, didn't he?
Yeah,
he followed it up. Good.
So he's sure excited about coming in and watching Thunderwolves, and we're anxious to have him around. And he was a great Thunderwolf, and he's our leading scorer in our history. And so I'm anxious to see Greg, and he was excited to let everybody know he was coming in.
All right, well, great. That's good to know. All right, John Wristen Show. We are here at Andy Max. We got more questions coming up. If you have a question for Coach Wristen,
we got a hot mic here.
We got a hot mic in the building. I don't know. We got anything to give him?
No.
It's just the thought of being on the radio with Jim, Joe, and John. That should be incentive enough for everybody to come over here and give a question to John right here on the hot mic. And maybe we'll give you a meatball. Maybe that'd be Maybe that'll be your reward. Or some dip. We got a lot of dip here for the wings. We got more dip than wings. But we might be more dip than broadcasters.
I'm just letting you go.
All right, just let me roll there.
I just want you to know, we got a lot of comments about last week's show.
Really? Yeah, between.
Yeah. So,
let's do it. There we go.
Someone's talking about the best of Pueblo. They thought the best of Pueblo might have been.
I knew it was coming. I didn't know what segment. I knew it was coming.
That take advantage of those.
But at the table, there was one winner and a couple runners-up. And
were you the winner?
I was a winner.
Oh, nice. All right. Best of Pueblo.
John was second. Best coach.
Did I even get an honorable mention?
You did.
Oh.
From me.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad somebody's mentioned me at those kind of shindigs.
No.
All right. John Wristen Show, we are at Andy Max. If you got a question, like I was saying, 671-7574. Go ahead and text it in right here. John Wristen Show from Andy Max on Fox Sports Pueblo.
The John Wristen Show on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to Andy Max, John Wristen Show. Yeah, go ahead, yeah. All right. There we go. Make Tundra howl over there. Tundra? Yeah, Tundra not working on. There we go. Okay, got to have Tundra there. All right. And I've been told here we do have a prize on the hot mic.
Oh, good.
So now here's the prize for the hot mic, courtesy of Tracy Zamora at the Alumni Association. Homecoming T-shirt and 2 tailgate passes to this week's the Alumni Tailgater. So that's your incentive.
That's up on top of the new Lady Warrior Center.
Right, exactly.
Great views up there.
All right, so that's what the hot mic prize is. So anybody wants to come up, don't be scared. I'm looking around, see if anybody. Everybody's just kind of.
It's quiet. They wanted to hear the prize.
Oh man, they want to get 2 passes. So there we go.
They're stretching.
They're
stretching before they sprint on up here.
Okay, our latest and greatest fan of the John Wristen Show is Mr. Positive. You know, the guy that has the stadium named up on top of the hill?
Love that
And
guy.
his lovely wife, okay?
Love Nita.
All right. He doesn't have a question. He just wants you to stay positive like he is, and great things will happen to those who stay positive, and maybe even miracles.
Well, I appreciate that, and we are, and we're trying to have these kids have a little fun with the whole thing and enjoy this chance that we have to be able to go and finish the season strong, and maybe things haven't quite gone the way you want to, but let's control what we have control over. And so I think we got a couple tickets that just arrived here.
Yeah, the prizes that keep coming in here.
Hey, KO's in the house. I think he left them in his car, but they're back, and we got some tickets for Saturday's game. But I'll tell you right now, if you come do the hot mic, you get tickets. Not only you get to go to the tailgate,
right? So you got tailgate and
a T-shirt.
Hey, we went from no prizes to all of a sudden we got
prizes.
We got prizes like sausage right here. Holy smokes!
We're going to try to give you a box of ramen.
Speaking of the boneless wings, if you're a fan of nuggets, chicken nuggets, well, you're not going to be a fan anymore because these blow chicken nuggets out of the water. I mean, these are incredible.
Yeah, they're
unbelievable.
I'm a bone-in guy. I like the bone-in guy.
There's somewhere to go with that, but I kind of like the boneless, but I like the bone-in as well.
Yes, Jim. Only my good friend.
All right, we got to recover. Wants to know. Let's take a break.
Well, Wardo wants us to cut. And,
describe your practice schedule during the week. What goes on Monday through Friday for a ball game?
So this last part of the season, we always give Victory Monday, and Victory Monday basically is we meet at 2:30. And we go through our awards. We have player of the game, both offense, defense, special teams. And then we have scout team, offense and defense awards. Then I always show, anywhere from 8 to 12 clips of the game of great effort. Guys really doing a great job. And then we break up and watch the game tape by position. And then early on in the season, we go out and practice for an hour where we go through game mistakes and try to correct that. And then we go and introduce the game plan. And then we come back in and watch special teams. So on Victory Monday, what we do is we start our meetings at 2:30. and do that same routine, and then at 4:15 we do our special teams, and I get everybody out of there by 5, and making sure that the kids are fresh. I believe morale's the physical is 4-1, and I want our kids playing their best ball at the end of the year.
And the incentive of Victory Monday is huge. I mean, the guys talk about it like the gold standard.
Well, we're going to find out, and I hope that is. So on Tuesday and Wednesdays are heavy days where we're full pads, where we go, we're basically on the field at 3:35, and we got walkthroughs up till stretch at 3:45. We do that for 10 minutes, and we go 21 periods, and then we go 6 periods a team, both offense and defense.
Define a period.
A period is a 5-minute period, and it's the emphasis of the day, whether it's 3rd and long or 3rd and short, or goal line and normal down and distance. So we group all those together, and we try to get something done we do get something done on Tuesday and Wednesday. We practice no longer than in 2 hours, and so we're off the field. But I think what's unique about what we've been able to do in our practice schedule is that when the offense is on, the defense is doing a walkthrough. So you got 5 minutes of your team walk while you're on there is a walkthrough. And so we get 10 plays in 5 minutes for the offense. We run 2 huddles at the defense for up-tempo, and we get 12 plays there. And then when it's offense emphasis, the defense coach is going through all the corrections, get them ready to go, so you play fast in that time. So we spend almost 40 minutes at that time, and 20 minutes will you be on, and the other 20 minutes you're doing walkthroughs. So they're not on the field going full speed the whole time, so we try to keep our guys fresh. And then we spend at least 15 minutes, 5 minutes of the kicking game. We got specialists. We got 10 minutes of 2 or 3 of the special teams of the week, and that's how our game week goes. And Thursday's a review day. We go probably an hour and 15 minutes, and then if our depth holds up right, we're able to go through and have a scout bowl on Thursday, which is a lot of fun for the young guys that don't play, but they love playing in the scout bowl.
All right, so that's your week. And Fridays is basically just...
Fridays is, our practice is kind of a game script.
Okay.
We go through our it's about 25 minutes at the most. Our kids go out on Friday, have a lot of fun in the stretch. They have competition and throwing the ball, and it's like romper room.
Is it? It is. Is it your experience, not only here but every place that you've coached, that being that regimented, or I don't want to say monotonous, but it's the same every week? Is that help you and help them, or is it, do you like the variation? Or, I mean, I've covered you for 9 years now, and it's been the same for 9 years.
Well, we're routine people, and our kids love the routine a little bit, and so our routine is it is the way we practice. It's what we believe in, and until someone can convince us that we don't not preparing our guys the way we need to. I used to be younger in coaching. I used to say we have to win Tuesdays and Wednesdays. You have full pads.
Right.
And the older I've gotten, is I realize, you hit them too much. They're not ready to play on Saturdays, and so my goal is to get them ready through the morale and knowing the fundamentals. Like I described earlier, it's the details and the discipline of doing your job, and sometimes you don't need to really practice them into the ground. I want them to have fresh legs on Saturday and play fast.
Is that a variation from, say, a Gary or Carl or
yeah, those guys, we used to have 2-hour plus practices, and the kids would get bored, and you'd go 30 minutes straight of team, and you just got very monotonous all the time. And so I lost my attention span out
And
there.
you're coaching.
And I'm coaching it. And so the way we kind of broken it up is kind of a game. You know, you're running on and off the field. You're breaking your focus a little bit like you do in a game. And then so, you know, like today, we went out and we had hit a golf ball competition.
Yeah.
We had a 60 wedge and put it on the 40-yard line. You got to put it through the goalpost. And if you do that, you get a point. And we played 3 guys from offense, or 2 guys in offense and a coach. And defense won tonight because Quinn Vanderkoppel put 3 right through the goalpost.
And JT's a pretty good golfer.
JT
can play a little bit.
The person you never, ever want to have hit a golf ball, if your season depended on it, is Bernard McDonald.
The whiff.
His
baseball season, the fastball.
But, you know, if he'd have just taken off his pads.
Well, that might have helped.
Well, LeRon left
Maybe
his
not.
pads on in respect of
Yes,
that.
yeah. So,
you know,
but it was. I thought you were going to step up there and be the tiebreaker because.
well, if you got there early, I did it in stretch and put it right through.
Of course.
All right. Uncle Charlie checking in, John, as he always does each and every week.
Uncle Charlie out in Texas.
He said, well played. Enjoyed it. Listening to the ball game, watching on the internet there on Saturday. He'll be here this week. It is homecoming, and Uncle Charlie will be in town.
That's awesome.
All right,
That's what homecoming's all about.
All right, looking forward to that.
Glad to have everybody come and enjoy the pride and tradition of Pac football.
Well, we got Madison and Abigail. We're going to save them for after the break, though.
Okay.
We got one more here. We're going to get in before the break. Do you have a long memory or short memory when it comes to your loss against Fort Lewis in that championship season?
What loss?
There, see? Okay, short memory. I forgot all about it.
No, I think, you know, I don't know. I'm focused on this 2016 game, and I really think we made the most of what happened in 14, and so let's go on to 16 here.
There you go.
You know.
All right, we'll come back after this timeout. We got the Madison and Abigail question. We still have the hot mic. We still have some prizes. We got the homecoming shirt. We got the tailgate passes. We got tickets. Come on up and give John a question. We come back. It's the John Wristen Show from Andy Max on Fox Sports Pueblo.
The John Wristen Show on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to Andy Mack's final segment of the John Wristen Show for this week. It is homecoming week. Fort Lewis coming to town. And we've got our final question of the evening. Comes from Madison and Abigail. Remember that one week they didn't check in on time? We had to really prod them, but this week they were right on time. Are the boys allowed to go to the homecoming bonfire on Friday night?
We will be just finishing up our films at that time, and if they want to go, they can. A lot of them just want to go see their families, and they want to kind of go and wind down a little bit. So we'll have a lot of our red shirts there, but yes, they're free to go if they would like. I don't make it mandatory. But that's kind of, I'll leave it each to his own on that.
Do you speak at that?
I think I am speaking at that.
Ooh, all right. I might want to show. Well, we got to work Friday night, don't we?
We got TV Friday.
Sorry, John. We got Easton County Friday night.
County
should be a good ball game.
All right, so look forward to that one. So no bonfire for us. Let's look at Fort Lewis. We talked a little bit about them earlier, but let's get right into the nitty-gritty of this ball club. What do we look for? What players stand out on their ball club that you kind of like?
Well, I think Fort Lewis has done a great job with maximizing their talent. On offense, P.J. Hall, their running back,
right,
number 5, comes in, and his name is a kid that was out at Reno, and they do a great job with being able to run the ball, and Griffin is his name, number 5, and he's a transfer from Nevada Reno, like I said. And their offensive line is scary good, okay? They just ball you up, and then those backs just find a crease on you. And so they do a nice job of getting targeted right. Their quarterback is a young sophomore kid named Bo Coleman, and number 12, and he's really shifty in the pocket. He runs the zone read very well. He's a spinner. You know, he stops and he spins and he gets yardage and he makes plays that you wouldn't believe. You know, his biggest is that he rolls to his right and throws clear across his body, and he throw big post on that all the time. And you'd say, he can't do that. They got 3 touchdowns off that, and they're throwing to number 17 is their guy, A.J. Shaw, that does a nice job. And then this kid, number 18, Jordan Gillen, he was the guy that is from Durango High that ran the reverse on us, that threw the pass.
Yeah.
So
you do have a memory.
Well, I can remember those plays.
Sadly.
You know?
Yeah.
I think their defense, Ed Rifolato does a great job, and number 41 and 44, Nico is 41. He's a young, athletic rush linebacker that does a heck of a job. And then 44, O.J. Thompson is a very athletic kid. You know, they're not very big, but they are very active, and they're going to twist inside. They read our pulls, meaning the defensive lineman sees us pull, they're going to get to that spot, okay? And so, and then they do a great job of fitting their linebackers. They play a 4 down front, and they play 2 linebackers, and they put their safeties on the outside and going to read what's going to happen. And this number 14 is a corner. He's a little guy, Terrell, I believe is his
Thomas.
first,
Terrell Thomas.
I just know him as 14, watching him all week. You go, God, you know, we should be able to do something there, but then you keep watching him, and he's very, very active. And so it's very, very important for our guys to play at a high level.
So is this a scheme game for Dave Brown and Gordy Shaw and yourself, or is it more do what we do, but we have to do it better?
Well, that's kind of my theme all week, is the details and the discipline equals your chance to go win a ball game. And so I think we got some new things in, some new wrinkles that we think we can take advantage of. But more important, we're going to do what we do. And we got to block their defense, and so that means when that 3 comes over the top, or they're twisting around or doing things, we got to get targeted right. We got to be able to throw the ball to win, in my opinion. I think we got a chance to do that. And so defensively is what my concern is, because they're leading the conference, I believe, in time of possession. They really hold the ball and make things happen. So the whole key to this game is on 3rd down. I believe 3rd down, both offense and defense. Offense, no brainer. You convert on 3rd down, you're able to make the 1st down and keep them off the field. 3rd down on defense, you get off the field and make them punt. Okay, and that's what happens. And then the other key to this game is, I really think, is if we can continue this upward trend about not turning the ball over and getting turnovers, are factors in winning these type of games.
Well, they're a -10. I mean, Riff said the one thing we can't do is, the one thing we've done all season is turn the ball over. And when they're a young team like that. And he said, I was listening to you talk about the quarterback, that I guess the upcoming one is the one they're waiting in the wings, and everybody's clamoring for him to play, and Riff's, he's just not ready yet. And I said, well, good.
I have a lot of respect for this Bo Coleman out of Albuquerque, and Coach Brown recruited him, so he knows a little bit about him, but he's been a tremendous player.
Well, message for the fans here. I guess it's homecoming this week. It's a special week for everybody. You get a lot of old faces coming down and see you, and you're probably looking forward to that. And message to the fans, hey, this is our chance in October. Come on out and see us. We need you.
Well, I think what's kind of unique about this, and we've said this over time since we started this, is, you know, we didn't have homecoming for a soccer event or a biology test or a library event. I mean, that's not fall, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about that, but the homecoming is bringing everybody back to have a chance to say, hey, I went to school there, I have a lot of pride in that. And so I think that's really the unique thing that we are doing right now, is establishing what it means to be a Thunderwolf. Overall, years. And so I think a lot of people are taking pride in that. I think that's the result of what's happened over 9 years. I think for this game, we need everybody to be loud and proud, as I've said every week. We need everybody to give us energy when we're on the field. I think it's very important. Our kids love that energy. It's going to be a great day on Saturday. The weather's going to be great. Come on out, tailgate early, stay late, come and cheer the Thunderwolves on. We got a great tailgate venue, and we're going to need all your help. And then I really looking forward to our kids enjoying this Pink Out game. And this Pink Out game, as I described earlier, is an event that I want our kids to write a note or write a letter that says, I'm dedicating this game to you. And my performance will show you that I'm dedicating, and we appreciate everything you've done. So we need everybody to be loud and proud. We need those stands rocking and rolling.
All right, we're looking forward to it. We'll have the ball game for you right here on Fox Sports Pueblo. It'll be a 1:30 pregame, 2 o'clock kickoff. It is homecoming. The Thunderwolves taking on the Skyhawks of Fort Lewis. For my partner, Joe Cervi, for the head coach, John Wristen, for everybody here at Andy Max, Caitlin Norton, our producer and engineer, good night, everybody.
Go Pack!
Thanks for listening to the John Wristen Show on Fox Sports Pueblo, 1350. Tune in again next week at the same time for all things CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves football. Only on Fox Sports 1350, KCCY Pueblo.